No stranger to pushing the pop culture envelope, my next guest knows how to get an audience thinking and talking. From Pink Flamingos, which just celebrated its 50-year anniversary, and Hairspray, the musical phenomenon that went on to become a Broadway hit. Among the 40-plus films he has either directed, written, or acted in, to the more than a dozen books he somehow put out in all of his spare time. And now he's out with his debut novel, Liarmouth, a feel-bad romance. The man behind it all, the great John Waters, joins me now. John, so great to meet you. I can't believe it's been this long.
Thank you.
I haven't seen
know.
you.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
It took writing some fiction in order
Yeah.
for us to meet. What I love about the attitude about writing this book is that you hadn't done fiction yet, right?
Yeah, I mean, movies are fiction. I've only made movies that I wrote, and I've done a spoken word show that I write every year, 2 times. I rewrite it. So, but not where I play every character, where I'm every character and I can think like that and live like that. So it was just a dare to me. Like I hitchhiked across the country. I took LSD when I was 70 for my last book. So this was my next dare. I think you got to challenge yourself as you get older, even more.
So what's the book about? Tell us about the characters and what the storylines, and
Well,
I say lines
it's
are.
about a woman named Marcia Sprinkle who steals suitcases at airports. And she lives with her, quote, boyfriend who's only allowed to sleep with her once a year. That's his salary. And the book starts on that day, and she's ditching him. As she said, she's no man's used up calendar. And they go to the airport. He pretends he's the chauffeur, and they steal luggage off the carousels, which is pretty easy to do these days since they don't check anymore the tags like they did when I was growing up. So at the beginning they get caught and they're on the run. And she is trying to rob her daughter, who is obsessed by trampolining, and she has a whole cult of insane trampoline addicts. And she's trying to get back at her mother, who does facelifts on pets and lives in New York, and her ex-husband, who's the town crier pervert that lives in Provincetown. So that is kind of the main characters.
Just a day in Mayberry, RFD.
Yeah, it's just
not
a
a big
day,
deal
yeah.
at all. I want to talk to you about subcultures because I think all of your work in some of the greatest explorations of our lives have to do with you looking at things through the lens of subcultures. And in this book that's out now in Liarmouth, the subculture of trampoline enthusiasts.
Well, I'm trying to make fun of the rules of weirdo communities that sometimes have more rules than I grew up with my parents, especially today with everything having to be so politically correct, which I think I am politically correct. In a way, this book is, because we made fun of it, but we went overboard even the other way, that are people that are addicted to trampolines, are their rights guaranteed? Are they allowed to bounce in public? Are they allowed to go across state lines bouncing and then moving sideways and always quivering? And they have cars where they bounce in it. They can't sleep unless it's in a waterbed because they're moving. So I take an obsession, just like I did in Pink Flamingos when Edie was obsessed by eggs. I take something and exaggerate it and hopefully make it funny, because I'm trying to get you to laugh at the rules that you yourself live by and respect.
Do you find it fascinating that we're at this point now where, 50 years ago, the things that you were writing and exploring, getting you arrested, getting you banned, worst thing in the world. Now, fast forward 50 years, Pink Flamingos, the greatest thing ever written, institutional, everyone must have it as part of our canon. Yet you're writing about things in the same way that it's almost like the people haven't really changed, but what they're angry about has, and what they're pushing the rules down on others, those rules have changed.
Well,
They've switched.
They've switched to who the censors are, but I haven't changed. My movies, this book is no different than Pink Flamingos. It's the same kind of humor, everything. American humor has changed up until now. And now, but good humor that I've always liked from the very beginning was Lenny Bruce when I first heard about him. And it went on to all the comedians that cause trouble, push the edge. What can you get away with? What is that edge that you can walk on? And today it's still like that. And I try to interest myself. What is that? How can I do it without falling over the cliff? And the main way to do it is you make fun of yourself first, and I make fun of things I love, not that I hate. And being mean-spirited can be funny for 20 minutes. It can be funny for 50 pages, but not an hour and a half of a movie or 200 pages of a book, to me.
How has earnestness changed, if at all? I mean, it's fascinating to me, you know, to just talk to people who are so dug in about their point of view. And it's around the entire spectrum. It's not one side
I totally
or the
agree.
other.
But what the main change is, when I was young, and I hate people who say, well, I'm young, that means you're old. But we fought for free speech. We went to jail for free speech. We rioted for free speech. And today, some of the most liberal people on campus are against free speech. I think Trump should be able to speak on Facebook. I think the Antifa should be able to speak. I think the worst gay critic, everybody should be allowed to speak. Just don't go. Don't listen to them. Boo them. Protest them. But I believe in the excess of free speech. Yes, there is pornography that is obscene. Don't look at it. You know, we have to put up with that. And I think that's what makes it. I'm a patriot person down low. When I first saw the Patriot Boys, I thought it was the Cockettes, how they dress and stuff. The one with the horns, I thought they looked like drag queens or something.
The homoerotica of the whole January 6th siege.
To me, it was
not mentioned on enough.
In my show, they had fun that day. I mean, rioting is fun. We rioted. I had fun. You know, when we were young, we did worse. People I know set bombs in the Capitol. We did worse stuff. But rioting is fun. But of course, it's always going to be illegal. It's always something you might regret later in life. When you're young, you're crazy. Like Antifa, I'm just too old to run from the tear gas. But I like their outfits, all the black and the shield. I love the shields made out of trash cans with duct tape on them. It's a good look.
Let's talk about queerness, kind of queer to queer here. You know,
right.
Here we are at, public broadcasting, sitting at a big desk talking about, your great 50 years of work, right? How do you stay queer? How do you stay
I was
outside?
never a separatist. I did an art piece that said gay is not enough. It's a good start. I think progress is admitting there's bad gay movies. I know some jerks that are gay. Not every person. I like to hear the extremes of every group of people. And the people I made movies with in the beginning, they were suburban kids that went bad who went downtown and met gay people and hung around with beatniks and black people and everybody together, and we listened to each other, what it was like, a mixed crowd. That's how you get strong. I'm against gay people to now fighting with each other. We are weakening the brand of pervert. We really are.
What's your reaction to what's happening in Florida with,
I have wanted to do a thing, just don't say straight, where kids are not allowed to talk about line dancing or the missionary position or any governors of Florida till they're in 5th grade, where they can make up their mind on their own.
And they can decide what
Don't
kind
say
of dancer.
straight.
Don't say straight.
It means hate. I mean, I'm always trying to do the opposite thing and make fun of it. But that's how you make them look stupid. You make your enemy look stupid. And that's how you fight a war, with humor.
Satire has often been criticized by some that it doesn't really help educate or enlighten the people that you would hope it does. It makes you feel good if you agree with the satirist. You're like, yep, he's absolutely right. Those people are X, Y, Z.
I don't know. I thought it was... The only thing Trump ever said that made me laugh is when he called her Pocahontas. I thought that was funny. And then when the other one went, who was the liberal congressman that got mugged? And the Republicans said, well, I hope she called a social worker. That's funny to me, too. Even though I can't stand those people, and I read the Wall Street Journal editorials every day because I like to hear how smart people that I don't agree with think. You need to be open to listen to smart people, even if you do not agree with them at all, so you learn how to fight back. I had debating school in high school. So basically, life is a debating team in a way. And how you win is to make people laugh. They'll listen. They'll listen then.
I'm fascinated, too, about the idea of otherhood, otherness, and when we were young and LGBTQ and attracted a number of folks who may not be LGBTQ, but also felt that otherhood.
Well, now, though, if you go to the Gay Pride Parade in New York now, it's no gay people, it's just families showing their tolerance. It's not as much fun.
Right.
I think we should scare each other again, and I know how.
How?
Gay men and lesbians, let's start having sex. That'll really freak people out.
We'll never be able to go to Disney again. Or maybe we'll have to live at Disney.
Well, Disney now had to go the other way, and they loosened up because everybody ran to Spielberg's company when they weren't gay-friendly enough. Why is it that animators are mostly all gay? That's an odd thing. They are. It's not, I'm making a blanket statement,
right?
But it's like hairdressers. Why? And press agents. I don't know that many straight male press agents.
So when you look at the body of your career, right, with all these varied artistic endeavors and successes, is there a place that you think you know, we're talking about you being adventurous and going out and doing more things and doing things differently or doing new avenues. Is there a place that you feel home, that you think, you know,
I feel home telling stories. To me, writing a book or making a movie, I feel equal at home in both those worlds. When I'm performing, I do my spoken word, so I did 4 last week. Varied places. I hosted in Las Vegas a giant rockabilly convention. I hosted the Burlesque Showcase. I played in Atlantic City for my birthday. I played in the Madonna Inn in San Luis Obispo. I had a Crybaby Easter. So I am completely open to traveling around the world. I went to Poland this year. The best thing happened in Poland. This old, like, Nikita Khrushchev man, and the question he looked like. He said, I lived here when it was all communist, and I saw a copy of Crybaby, and when I saw Willem Dafoe slap Johnny Depp on the ass, I knew I was gay. And the audience went crazy. He looked like I thought it was the opposite he was ever going to say. So, and I'm even amazed they know who I am when I go there. How do you know these movies? You know? So this year, next week, you know, I'm going all over the world showing this stuff. And it's really kind of amazing when kids come up to me and say how much I helped them. And I wrote a book called Role Models that was about the people that helped me really believe in that I could do what I wanted to do. And that's what we have to do. There is a way to do it. You just got to be obsessed by it. And it's not easy to do it, but you got to think you cannot not do it.
One of the exciting things for me as a parent is watching my 21-year-old discover things that I loved, or turning her on to art that I love. And watching one of your movies and watching her reaction is always going to be one of my favorite things on the face of the earth. Does it give you joy to know that there's another generation, another
Certainly, but what
excitement?
shocks me is people that say to me, my parents showed me your movies. They did when I grew up. The parents called the police when they found my movies. So that's very, very different. And so it's completely different now, the people, where it's coming from. When I saw them, no parent liked it. I mean, my parents didn't like them. What parent would be proud their son made Pink Flamingos? Even today, there would be issues.
Well, on TikTok, as I spend a lot of my time these days, and I see a lot of parents.
Oh, I thought you said TikTok. That's a place in Provincetown.
That's another place.
Yeah. I thought, well, that's out of nowhere.
Let's just take a pivot and go right there, right? We'll just go to the end of Commercial Street and take it from there.
Yeah.
But on TikTok, which is different than that, maybe not so much, you know, parents are so involved in their kids' creative processes, even some which is even questionable by today's standards. It's the explosion of creativity through social media. It's something exciting to you?
Well, there's
too?
a lot of, I'm on social media, but I don't look on Facebook. I don't care what you had for lunch. And I have 10-hour days as it is. I don't have time to do that, right? And I really don't understand. What's the other one where people type every day? I'm not giving away my material for free every day. That's what I have to sell. What am I going to put in my books? What am I going to put in my shows? If on Instagram I'm like doing jokes every day, that's a mystery to me, why people give away their material.
And that's one of the reasons you're so successful is the monetization of all the great art.
I have to, what I sell is my ideas and my humor and everything. So if I'm just every day giving it away, I usually do press because I have a new project out and I want people to see it. It took me 3 years to write this book. So I hope people see it. And the whole reason I want them to just be able to laugh at the same time, but laugh with me. They're not laughing at something, they're laughing with a group of people that have their sense of humor, and shared sense of humor really brings people together, just like old friends. People that have that kind of humor.
Largemouth is out now, right? Right now, Largemouth's out now.
Came out yesterday, yep.
All right, John Waters, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you
Great to
for
meet
having
you.
me.
Thank you.